Now, GJRB presents the Gary Russen program, the original news talk program. Call Gary J. Russen right now on the Skype line at Gary.Russen or contact them on the GJRB chat room by clicking the balloon icon on the GJRB Spreaker widget on the Spreaker public site and on Twitter. Now, the Gary Russen program.
Hey, hello everyone, hello everywhere across America and around the world. I'm Gary J. Russen. Welcome to another edition of the Gary Russen program on Wednesday. Yep, we're back on the air on that Wednesday show, the Gary Russen program, Wednesday program, otherwise known as the Over the Hump Day edition of the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. And we're kind of doing a little differently today. I wasn't prepared for any national news stuff. I usually do the news myself. But sometimes on the local end, I just carry the Fox News on my 9-foot closed circuit and just go on the air at 6 minutes after. It just makes it a little easier on myself. And, of course, I can then just have on the local end. But we're going to talk about some of the national news here on the program itself. So I hope you'll stay with me throughout the afternoon. The Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. It's a Wednesday. It's our Over the Hump Day edition of the Gary Russen program here on Spreaker. And thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great live show lined up for you today. Talk a lot about what's going on in news. But get a chance to talk to you about some interesting things that I thought was interesting. Last night, the Caramel conservative Ed Delgado had a great show and talked a lot about interesting things we're going to talk about today. Some really interesting news. A lot of stuff happened yesterday. I guess there was a bad boat accident in California. A boat capsized, burned, and a lot of people lives lost. We're going to talk about that. And, of course, we have news throughout the show because it is GJRB's original news talk program, the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, we're going to be doing this show as a regular on Wednesdays for a little bit, kind of trying different time slots for different shows, see how they work. We haven't done an Over the Hump Day edition in quite some time. Normally I don't broadcast on Wednesdays because we usually go to Bible study, but our Bible study, which was covering the book of Revelations, has come to an end. And we're not going to take a break for a while from it. And so I decided, well, why don't we just bring back the Gary Russen program Over the Hump Day edition? Because we used to broadcast on Wednesdays and not Thursdays back in the day when the Bible study was on Thursdays. So we're kind of moving things around a little bit, trying different time slots and different days and seeing how that's going to work out. And I think that we could come up with a pretty decent schedule. I've been looking at the schedule that I've been working on, and I have a lot of programs that don't have time slots. All the rest of the programs that I have on this are back in their time slots. Friday, that's going back to its time slot. That's our jazz weekend. The wave of smooth jazz and smooth afternoons going back to its first weekend of the month. And then we're going to try and see if we can fit another jazz program in there as we continue piecing together the GJRB programming puzzle that seems to be complicated these days, trying to get a decent program schedule, which has not been fun. I got to tell you, I've been trying to work on this schedule for some time, but it's going to change, and I think it's because and this is why I decided to go spontaneous, because with spontaneous I could go on any day, any time with any show, and see how that works out. Whatever ideas I come up with, whatever kind of programs that I could put in different time slots, so that maybe we get I could get a listenership which has been nothing I've been trying to accomplish. And Facebook giving me a lot of grief about my show and being offensive and everything. And it's been quite discouraging. And I don't know how to say it other than it's been crazy, and I don't know why I'm not getting the listenership that I'd love to get on this radio program. But we're going to see what's going to happen. Now, I've tried different things. I got different ideas for program schedules. As a matter of fact, I am working on another idea for a program schedule. What I'm going to be doing is, remember, as I told you before, thanks to my good friend Brian Harrison, I have a new studio. And it's located at the Church of Christ, which is down here on the other side of town. Pretty close to where they had that robbery, not far from where they had that robbery at the pizza ranch there. It's like on the northwest corner of the of town. And so now, with that in mind, I thought, we're gonna go to the northwest part of town, and I'm gonna be broadcasting from this studio. It's a new one, a really neat microphone, omnidirectional mic that my friend Brian has, and it sounds really good. Makes me sound good. And I already did a test broadcast from there last week, and it turned out really good. The sound quality is amazing. This microphone, makes my voice sound better than this one does. Not that this doesn't. This microphone does make me sound good. But the microphone I use over there is excellent. It's absolutely fabulous. And this one is good, sounding through the FM band, but on the 9-foot signal, but it's not always loud enough to me, in my personal opinion. So I decided what I was going to do is try the other studio. Now I'm going to do a 45-minute broadcast from there tomorrow. I'm going to have the last 7 days. I'll upload that pretty much. I usually upload that right away. That's in gray for a while, because what I have to do is I have to come home and touch it up. I'm trying to a point where I don't have to edit it at all and put it up. But I need the opening. Which reminds me, I should make sure I put that opening and closing to the last 7 days and put it on the I'll put it on my jump drive. Should remember to do that. Would make sense, wouldn't it? But anyway, got a great show lined up. I hope you'll stay with me. We got a lot to talk about, so I hope you'll stay with me. The Gary Russen program, and this is the semi. Remember this? What we used to call it Over the Hump Day edition, the semi-freestyle Over the Hump Day edition of the Gary Russen program, and this is a fabulous show. Is where we just get time to talk about different things, and it's fabulous. So I hope you'll stay with me throughout the afternoon here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Great show yesterday morning, the Gary Russen program here now, but yesterday's Gary J in the morning, not too bad. Still, like I said, the audience is low, but I expect that's going to continue to be it. So I'm just trying different things too, and that's why I'm doing this show too today. I want to keep practicing, distributing this show on social sites, and so I decided to I'm trying different things to get this show up, maybe get some responses, get some listeners. By the way, hit that like button. I do hit my own like button. Ed Delgado said, hey, why not? So I hit my own like button. So I get some, because I like my own show. I mean, I like what I do with it. It's fun. I put together a lot of stuff. And, I enjoy putting on a show. So, if I like my own program, that's my business. Yeah, so let's see. We have things to talk about, some news to talk about. We've got, death announcements to talk about. Birthdays, celebrate. We do our celebrity birthdays, our Facebook. I should go to my Facebook real quick, too, because I want to check and see if there's a birthday on there. I'm not sure, but I'm going to check and see if there's a birthday on there today. Yesterday, I was a friend of my sister's, Sue Lukovitz's birthday, so happy belated birthday on the air. But I usually check to see if there's any other birthdays that I need to announce. Just in case I kind of overlooked something before I went on the air, which usually happens sometimes. And I make sure that there's, and I don't see any birthdays that so far, because my Facebook isn't entirely up yet, and it takes a while for it to come up completely. So that give me a chance to talk about what we got coming up today here on GJRB Online, Gary Russen program. We're going to be talking a lot about what's in the news, some interesting stories that we're going to talk about. And we're going to do news and comment in the next hour, because usually on these days, I usually do the news and comment in the second hour. And then we do the Freestyle Friday program. I do the news and comment at the top of the hour. Speaking of news and comment, there is a famous birthday we want to announce. And, of course, he's been gone for a long time, so let's remember him. He was born today, September 4th, 1918. And that was radio commentator Paul Harvey, who I did, as you remember straight, my news and comment section, I dedicated to Paul Harvey. Because because I believed in his news and commentary, and I came up with that idea of the news and commentary from Paul Harvey. So I decided I'm going to remember Paul Harvey today, and on his birthday, he has celebrated. How old would he have been in 1918? He would have been 101. Yeah, he would have been 101 today. So happy and happily birthday to Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey News and Comment. Absolutely fabulous. And there's a famous commentary broadcast that circulating around the internet. It's always interesting to listen to. It goes back to 1965. 1965. And it talks about, he predicts what's going on right now. It's mind-boggling. And it's amazing. And coming up a little later on, we talked about this last night exactly on Caramel Conservative talked about this. A virgin woman in Australia has taken the neighbors to court over a barbecue. Yeah, that's right. She does not like the fact that she doesn't like the neighbors barbecuing in the backyard. Oh, that's so offensive. Yeah, because she doesn't like meat. You see, so the reason for that is that the vegetarian, she don't like the meat, so she's mad because the neighbors are doing that in the backyard. Well, we can't have that. Blaze the liberal, folks. This is what they do to cause trouble. So we're going to talk about that. Also coming up, an 11-year-old New York student banned from choosing Trump as a hero. Yeah, this 11-year-old boy chose Trump as a hero, and now he's banned from school. Yeah, again, there's your liberal leftist front, again, brainwashing us. And it just continues, folks. And I like this one. I'm going to read this one later, too. New group launches launches to warn young people about socialism. About time a group comes up and starts telling the truth. That's a good one. Democratic Party passes resolution against Christianity. This is an interesting story. I got to read this one. This is a story that I saw this morning when I was doing my morning prep. So those are some of the interesting stories coming up throughout the afternoon here on the Gary Russen program. Over the Hump Day edition here on GJRB Online. So I hope you'll stay with me today. I already posted on Facebook on all my groups. So we've got that all ready to go. Hey, and I've got that all set up. And I already have that ready to go for you. And Blake's on. Yeah, hi, Blake. Yeah, you know why you saw that posting? Because I did it. I'm manually posting all my stuff. I'm manually posting. This way I make sure that my show gets seen by a lot of people. If Facebook doesn't do it, I'll do it. And now that's what I decided to do. So how you doing, Blake? Glad to hear from you. Yeah, I hear you did. You had a really good bicycle race. And absolutely fabulous. And it's good to see you again. I hope that you're going to be on the air again pretty soon. We're kind of missing your programs, the technical difficulties. I know that I've been promoting it, so just to let you know that I am promoting you, so I'm hoping maybe you'll be back on. But it's good to see you again, and it's great that you're back in the force. You're getting back to work on your garage, and absolutely fabulous. Doing well, yeah. Got to get to church in a hurry, though, but I'll let you know about calling in to talk about the Ragbri. Great. Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, absolutely fabulous. And that was a great... Yeah, I watched a lot. I saw your videos. I saw you in one video writing. And it was fabulous. That takes a lot of guts. Tell you did. It was fabulous. Hey, even your Uncle Mike was proud of you. I heard him talking about it on the radio, on his program, on the Radio Hope. We got a lot of stuff coming up, so stay with me today, the Gary Russen program, and this is our Over the Hump Day edition. I really have my Saturday Extra, as I told you earlier. That show's going to kind of go away for a while because of the football season. I like to watch my Hawkeyes. And they're going to be on 11 o'clock game this Saturday. I will be on the air later on in the afternoon with the Best of Jazz. So just to let you know about that, but I'm going to be taking a little break from that show for a while because I just need to do that. It's been a while, I know, since I've been doing that, and I've been doing it every week for about a month or so. So I think it was about time I kind of take a break from it. So that's what I was doing. So let's see. We got a lot of stuff coming up, and let's get ready because right now we're going to do weather on the fives. Take a look at the temperature, the weather forecast, and the biggest news, of course, is Hurricane Dorian, which continues to play havoc on the eastern coast of Florida. Hurricane Dorian is expected to slowly approach the eastern part of the state of Florida and the coastline late today. It will remain a large and dangerous hurricane as the storm tracks northward near or just offshore of the Florida east coast through Wednesday. Slow-moving storm. It will continue to long-durated rain, storm surges, and damaging winds and isolated tornadoes in its path. So we're going to keep an eye on it. We're going to be following that. And next hour I'll do the Weather Nation, and we'll see what's going on with that storm. They say this storm has been really bad and causing a lot of damage, especially down in. That was terrible down there. I saw videos of the storm down in the Bahamas. It really I mean, in the Bahamas, that's a big tourist spot. We're talking about honeymooners going down there. A lot of people who go on honeymoons go down there, and it's not pretty. They are really preparing to batten down the hatches down there in South Florida. So we'll be following that storm all the way up I think Miami. So I'll be watching that storm closely. We'll follow it. I was looking at pictures of the eye of that storm. That's a humongous storm. My goodness, it did so much damage down there. It's flooded out. Their police station is gone. I think their fire station's gone. I can't remember exactly. I mean, there's a lot of, really, it's terrible. So I'm hoping that we're going to so prayers are being sent down there. Always there from GJRB, because I feel bad for these people. That's terrible. And if you hear that noise like that, that's because I have a short in the electrical cord system that I have plugged in. I've got it plugged into the computer, and when I move it, it makes that noise. So just be aware of that. I know I've tried everything. I've even disconnected it, and I stuck a little tweezers up there to kind of pull it up so that it'll be tighter, but it gets loose pretty quick. And it doesn't stay in there very long, so I have to hold it manually with my hand in order to hold it in place, because it gets in the way and stuff. So we'll be taking a look at some of these stories, and a lot of other stuff this afternoon here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker across America. And this is the Gary Russen program. We're live right now on GJRB Online and here on the GJRB Online Network. And we're just following some news and following what's going on. And we're following a story here in Clinton, Iowa. The other day, the pizza ranch was robbed here in Clinton, just on the northwest side. And it's been the big news story because they're investigating it right now. And they're thinking maybe perhaps they're going to check out. They've been what surveillance cameras. They're asking neighbors and stuff like that. And seeing if anybody's seen anything. So we'll be following that story, but meanwhile, let's take a look at some of the news stories we're covering for you in the GJRB News Desk. And some of the stories we're covering for you that we're going to be talking about on the show. We mentioned that earlier. Let's see, we have the American Pickers is going to be in our hometown of Ambridge. That's going to be interesting, my hometown. Celebrating the birthday of Paul Harvey. News and commentary, his birthday today. Walmart discontinues auto parts sales to prevent car accidents. How about that? That's interesting. And a lot of other interesting stories coming up on GJRB Online. So these are the stories plus more that we're following for you here on
Nerdworks.com for information and how to contact them. That's Nerdworks.com.
the best stations for talk, news, and sports. Talk FM 108, KGRZ, LPFM, and KROS, Clinton, Iowa. And we're back on the air, the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And glad you can be back with me as we continue the Gary Russen program, midweek edition, semi-freestyle edition of the program here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And, of course, we're following all the news. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we had Blake Myers in the first half hour of the program, and it was fabulous to hear from him. And It shows how good it works when we get the program going here, because when I distribute the show, and I do it from the very, 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 very beginning, and distribute it all across the social sites, I get a little bit of a response because I started a little earlier. And that paid off very nicely. It really did. And it absolutely fabulous. So, that's just it. You have to play. I have to play around when I'm on the air. I have to do different things to keep this show rolling and to keep the audience excited. So once I get the 3-hour plan, I probably only have to do it once, and then maybe perhaps I won't have to worry too much about it afterward. But it's still good, really is. I can do this, and it's fabulous. And thank you so much for tuning in to the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker. And we're live on the GJRB Spreaker studios here on Clinton's North End. As I told you earlier, we have another studio, and that is at the Church of Christ on the northwest corner of Clinton. And it's just it's in our church, and we have a pretty neat studio. I'll have to take a picture of that and put it up on the Spreaker public site when we're doing a broadcast from there. Might have to do that. Put it on the church computer so that so that people know where we're coming from. It just makes more sense, You can put it on the church computer, and it'd be easier. And people will know we're broadcasting from the church. It just be that cool. But anyway, got a lot of really fun stuff coming up. I hope you'll stay with me. The Gary Russen program here, the midweek edition. And thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry, like I said before, maybe my maybe kind of gets on people's nerves. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons for it. So why don't we do this? Let's get things started. I'm opening up my Skype, which I'm going to do that right now. I got that going. I got the Skype open. It's Gary.Russen on Skype. You can get in on the action there. I don't have my theme out for that particular part. I usually make sure I have that up. I should just kind of go into my shows on the computer here and just put that up on the FX button, which would make it a lot easier to find, so that I can pull that up. And that's the one I've had on for some time now, a bit of a show, and just go like that, How you can contact me if you want to get on the show, that's very easy. Once again, that's Gary.Russen on Skype. And if you are a Facebook friend and you are in the Messenger chat room, just contact me that way by hitting that call button on the Messenger, and it'll ring in the Spreaker Studios. Or I am on Facebook too. I'm on Twitter. You can get a hold of me that way. That is, I am the Radio Maniac, and you just put up the GJRB Online. You'll see the antique radio emblem. See GJRB Online right next to it. And when you do that, you click that, it'll take you right into, you click that comic book icon, it'll take you right into my chat room. And you can say hi, just like Blake, who is, took a little, he had to go somewhere, so he said he'd probably be back, so we'll be checking in on that. So meanwhile, we've got some interesting stories, so why don't we get started on this afternoon of talk radio here on GJRB Online. I thought this was interesting. This is real interesting, and I got to send a message to whoever sent this posting from my hometown of Ambridge, Kimberly Pasadena posted this, that American Pickers is going to be going to Ambridge, Pennsylvania. Now this is cool, because I'm going to have to watch this when they do. It says they're headed to the area to find an Ambridge spotlight. And they have a private collection. Anybody has a private collection of unique items of interesting stores, contact at 855 Old Rust, OLDRUST, for your chance to be on the show. Please note that Mike and Frank can only pick private collections, so no store, mails, flea market, museum, auctions, anything like that. So that's absolutely fabulous. I'm going to have to post something there a little later on. Absolutely fabulous, because they are just in our backyard. That's fabulous. So I'm gonna have to message them that I'm on the air live right now from Clinton, Iowa, which is not far from LeClaire, where they are headquartered. Absolutely incredible. That's just great. Down the line a little bit, we're going to take a look. Well, some bumpers like Eurythmics coming up. I'll play some of that. Christine St. Peter, Yellow River, we'll do some of those. And let's see, Walmart is discontinuing auto parts to prevent car accidents. Now, how does that prevent car accidents? That's what I want to know here. This is bizarre. Apparently, this is it. This is what's going on here. This is in Bentonville, Arizona. A big, bold move is intended to curb thousands of deaths from vehicles each and every day. According to Walmart, they decided to stop selling auto parts, sources confirmed on Tuesday. According to a shocking reports, people have purchased car parts at Walmart, and then those cars have been involved in accidents, proving a direct correlation between the selling of the auto parts and causing deaths. How's that? According to a spokesperson, we can no longer be explicit. We are no longer can be complicit to the industry that kills over 3,000 people a day. Every time we sell a muffler, a steering wheel cover, or a flame decal, we are potentially causing the death of a person, and we cannot support that any longer. It's clear that bad drivers and poor road conditions can't cause vehicle deaths. Cars do. Walmart executives said that they are beating themselves with a stick to atone for the deaths they've already caused. Our consciousness, we will only be clean. We've been mercifully beaten once for each of the millions of deaths that we have been caused by automobiles since Walmart began selling auto parts. Now, I'm trying to figure this one out. Okay, how is it that selling auto parts causes death in auto accidents? I'm trying to figure this out. Somebody explain this to me, because I don't understand it. How does selling auto parts cause auto accidents and deaths? Somehow I'm trying to connect this. Maybe when Blake comes back, I'm going to ask him what he thinks of that story. That doesn't make sense to me, because I'm going, you're selling auto parts for cars. Is it because people fix their own cars, and perhaps they fix their own cars, they don't know what they're doing, and it ends up that the part that they bought might have not worked right? I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. And cause accidents? I don't know. I'm just having trouble with this one. That doesn't make sense to me. How does selling auto parts cause accidents? Just try to figure this one out, because I don't know. I don't get it. Unless it's the fact that amateurs are fixing their own cars and don't know what they're doing, and they put it in wrong or cause some problems. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that one out. That's a little bizarre. Explain that one to me. Coming up at the other side of the hour, we're going to start up our news and comment, and also, being this is GJRB's original news talk program, I am going to, let's see what I'm going to do. Oh, yeah. See, my mind kind of goes like, I get squirrel too sometimes, like Mike, I think. But anyway, scroll through social media. We're going to do that next hour. I do that where I go through social media and see what you posted and talk about it. It's a segment that I like to do. It's called Scroll Through Social Media, and we'll be doing that next hour here on GJRB Online, so stay tuned for that. And we'll have that one on there. I like doing that one. That's fun to do. Just go through Facebook, Twitter, all the social sites, and we post in your comments. We just kind of post what people are posting on the social sites and commenting about it. That's what that is. All right, let's see. Coming up, Veg Sue's neighbor for barbecuing. We're going to talk about that one coming up. And 11-year-old in New York, a student there banned from school for choosing Trump as a hero. It's coming up on the Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. Gary Russen program, midweek edition. News and comment and stuff like that. That's what we do here. Comment on what's going on in the news, and your comments are welcome too in the chat room, on Skype, and on the Facebook. So you're welcome to chime in when you find us. And I'm also on Twitter. I am the Radio Maniac. You'll see the antique radio emblem there, and you can post your stuff there. And I'm going to take that story out and pull up my MeWe account. And I need to see if I can pull that MeWe account over to my Opera browser so that I can And the reason I do that is so that I can multiply post my show everywhere while I'm talking. It just makes it easier to distribute my program when I'm talking. It's just so much easier. And let's see here. Meanwhile, we'll have another weather on the fives. We'll take a look at some more temperatures across the nation. Across the top of the hour, we'll do our news and comment, and I'm going to do our weather nation and follow that hurricane story, because that is the biggest news going on right now. What's going to hit the Florida eastern coast this afternoon, or is already doing so. So a lot of people who would be listening to us in Florida, which I don't think I have any listeners in Florida at this point yet. So I just like to be an informative program in the afternoon. And so I decided to, do the hurricane coverage. And hoping maybe we can get some listeners and see if there's anybody down there, or maybe somebody knows somebody down there that would like to get on the air with us and let us know what's going on with this hurricane. Meanwhile, from the Spaced Out Radio website, absolutely fabulous, Spaced Out Radio. Check that out. They have some good stuff on there. It's www.spacedoutradio.com. And they have an interesting story about a self-driving car, and it's the wave of the future. They're going to build it without pedals, mirrors, and even without mirrors, without pedals, and without a steering wheel. Self-driving cars are going to be What do you think of this one? They're going to build them without a steering wheel, pedals, or mirrors. Waymo, which is a self-driving car unit of Google parent Alphabet company, is pushing to get rid of many traditional car features, including mirrors, pedals, and steering wheels. Yeah. And it urged for the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to promptly remove regulatory barriers for cars necessitating all traditional features. Legislation controlled the manufacturer of cars dictates that they must meet more than 70 auto safety standards, even if they are redundant. Waymo says that a lot of these rules are not vital to self-driving cars because they work and operate in a completely different way than traditional vehicles. Man, what do you think about that one? Yeah, they're going to do this. They're going to eliminate that in self-driving cars. Man, just doing all kinds of interesting stuff anymore. Isn't that just fascinating? Anyway, you're listening to the Gary Russen program, Freestyle. Yeah, it's not the Freestyle Friday edition. This is like the Freestyle Friday edition. Only difference is that we do the news and comment in the second hour. This is our semi-freestyle, which means that I have a little bit of features that I picked for the show, or segments that I picked for the show. But otherwise, it's wide open. Open lines, open talk, open fun. So it's just, I pick stories for the program, but it's basically whatever I find other than that. It's our midweek edition. Over the hump day, one day away from Friday, and you're listening to the Gary Russen program. Middle of the week edition here on GJRB Online. Yeah, you better believe it. Coming up in the next segment, we'll get ready for our news and comment. We'll have weather on the fives. Yeah, Wayne Whiteside, absolutely fabulous. Weather on the fives. Top of the hour, we'll start getting into some more news and comment, and we'll do our scroll through social media. So that's coming up. Some of the stories we're going to come up here, we got coming up on our show. The veggie sues the neighbor for barbecuing meat in his own backyard. I thought that was vegetarian, left-wing liberal communism. 11-year-old New York student banned for choosing Trump as a hero for school. Got that coming up. And a new group launching to warn young people about socialism. Some of the stories coming up. And, of course, Democratic Party passes a resolution against Christianity. So those are some of the stories coming up next hour on the Gary Russen program right here on GJRB Online. This is our midweek edition. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Always a pleasure doing this program with you. Get back into the wind. We've got the second hour coming your way. The Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll be right back with more in just a few minutes.